All right. And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's conference week, which means it is the Leap event week. I am so excited. This has been a dream of mine for a long time. And it's so surreal to me that it's already here and it's the week of the conference. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. You guys have all seen my videos and now I'm just excited. Now I'm excited to be there. I'm excited for the women that have registered. I'm just excited. But I never forego my commitments that I make to other people. And my commitments that I make to other people is a commitment that I made to Lori, which is every single Monday morning, our members of Lead Up for Women get the opportunity to be on several platforms, but on Monday mornings, it's the Member Morning Live. And what Member Monday Live, whatever the heck that's called. I don't care. Monday member. I can't even think. It's Member Monday Spotlight. Thank you so much. It's about putting the spotlight on our members for them to be able to share what they do as a genius, for them to give you tips and tricks, for them to talk to you about everything that's awesome that they do, and give you some free stuff, which is awesome because who doesn't love free stuff, right? And today we're going to be talking all about your circle. So forming your own professional circle of trust. Lori, why is that important? Tell us about yourself and tell us about forming that executive circle.
Yeah, so I work with leaders and executives who are looking to create an epic career, looking to find a new job, and then become really first-class values-driven leaders. One of the things that I have discovered and work with clients is that they haven't necessarily maintained a good network in the sense, not just connections, but I think of a circle of trust as they're professional connections where you have mutual trust, mutual respect, and you are supporting each other. So not just in a job search, not just when you need clients, but all the time. It's that circle of people that you trust where you can say, hey, I'm stuck. I have this idea. I have this challenge. Or, hey, celebrate with me. This amazing thing happened and I want to share it with someone who will get it.
Yeah.
So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 8% of all employees are leaders. So if you think about that and just if you accept that as close enough, then that means that as you move into leadership roles and leadership positions, whether you're leading your own business or whether you're leading in a larger corporate context, the further up you get, the fewer peers you have, right? The just percentage is smaller of people who you can really go to and say, I need to bounce some things off of you. So it's really important to develop this, what I call a circle of trust, your network of, maybe it's 5 people, maybe it's 20 people that you can go to and rely on, who will help you when things aren't going as well, who will help you when things are going well. And again, it's that mutual trust, respect, support. And I think actually right before the conference is a good time to be talking about this because it's a great place to start meeting people who are like-minded, right?
Yeah. And that's the reason why I built Lead Up for Women was because I wanted a community of women surrounding me that I could trust, that fueled me. I mean, many of you remember my video I did where I just was losing it and I was crying because we do a lot of that as women in the shadows. And we don't want to show our vulnerability because we've been taught that vulnerability is weakness, especially if you've come from corporate America as a female. Right? So if we're courageous and we're brave and we're strong and we're getting out there, we need a circle of people to fuel us no matter what, because I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're, if you're Jay-Z or Beyonce or, if you're Jennifer Aniston, if you're, Rhonda Byrne, who is an author, anything that you do, imposter syndrome is going to creep up on you. And so when it does, having that fuel of those people surrounding you help keep you moving. They remind you why you're so awesome and how you got to where you're going. And, I have a feeling, Lori, that you do a lot of that with the executive coaching that you do. Is probably many executive have imposter syndrome, and you're there to remind them why they deserve to be where they are.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of things, when I'm working with clients, certainly a lot of what I'm doing is helping them see the value of what their contributions have been, their capabilities, their skills, what they bring, that typically they're wildly effective. They get great results, but nobody's coming up and acknowledging that.
Mhm.
And sometimes in a corporate context, people will take advantage of that, but they won't necessarily give you the title or the pay you deserve.
Yeah.
So I help my clients to get that, but a lot of it is about them feeling confident and empowered that, yes, I do amazing things, and my unique way of approaching things is valuable, and I can stand for that. The other thing I think a circle of trust does for you is they're the people I think you trust to tell you when things aren't going well.
Mhm.
Sometimes, especially in a corporate context, somebody moves up and people start to revere the leader, or there's just no one to tell them the truth about what they're doing. Everybody wants to say, yes, that's fantastic. What a great idea. You keep going. I love you. And that's not necessarily the case. One of the coaches I used to work with said, you need to have someone who can come in and tell them their baby is ugly.
Yeah,
right?
No one will, right? They're like,
right?
wow, your baby's, got great skin color, they don't say, because you don't want to hurt someone else's feelings. But the truth is, if you don't have those close people in your circle that will tell you point blank, if you do this, you're going to screw things up. You need to do it differently. Or the reason why you're not succeeding is because of the choices you've been making. But look at the choices you've been making. They're all wrong. You're making the choice to not take action.
And that's exactly why I refer to this as a circle of trust. You have to trust each other. You have to respect each other. And that will come out of that.
Yeah.
It has to be part of it. Being part of that trusted circle isn't just, it's building me up when I'm down. Yes. But it's also going, what are you doing? Yeah, I think you're off track here.
Yeah.
And you have to have people you're willing to listen to.
Yeah.
I have seen so many corporate leaders get to a certain level and then crash because they had too many people telling them they were great, and they didn't have that person to say,
constructive feedback, constructive criticism. And what comes out of the trust that you have with other people is when they deliver that information to you and they're sharing things that you can do. It's coming from the love that they have for you, the trust. It's coming from them wanting you to succeed no matter what, because they wouldn't care enough to tell you if they didn't. It's not about being mean or putting you down. It's about supporting you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key component in selecting people to be part of your circle.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree. And so having that circle, so I guess I should ask these questions. Let's talk really quickly about how you select people for that circle. That might be the question that some people have today. And I want every single one of you to get started today in looking at your current circle, because I always say your network is your net worth. The 5 closest people to you, you probably have similar things in common with. You probably make similar money. Are you surrounded with people that are fueling you? Are you surrounded with people you trust? Will they tell you the truth? Or are they sucking your energy? Are they holding you back? You're going to outgrow some people when you grow. Remember, your growth is going to cause other people to not want to grow. Sometimes maybe they'll follow your suit and want to grow, but they might become uncomfortable with who you are and not want to grow and want you back in that, woe me kind of place that some of us used to be. And then they just want to gossip. And you're like, but this isn't very productive for my time. I don't want to be there anymore. How do we take the people that we already have in our world and select the ones that we need to put in our circle?
I think you just identified a stack of characteristics that are necessary to look at. Do you care about them? Do they care about you? Are they at your level or above your level? I think that's an important element. They don't have to be at your level, but you don't want to. The reality is, for this specific purpose, if you're forming a professional circle of trust, they can't really be below your level because those are people you might be mentoring, which is a different relationship altogether.
They should be at or above your level for sure. And usually I would say go for the above your level.
And then it needs to be a trusted relationship where you communicate directly. I think that being willing to tell the truth, whether it's great things and supportive things, or I think you're going the wrong way, and I think you need to stop and rethink what you're doing. And that constructive element.
Yeah.
They need to be accessible, like there, as in you all need to be in contact and you need to be connecting regularly. I would recommend connecting and getting together at least once a month or every 2 months. Otherwise, it's not frequently enough. You're just sharing highlights. You're not actually saying, here's where I'm struggling. Here's what's happening. They also need to be people you feel you can be authentic with and who have some areas of expertise and perspectives that are not necessarily the same as yours. You want a diversity of points of view. I used to have in my circle of trust when I was in corporate, I had someone who was always come in and pick apart my ideas. So I knew when to bring him in, not in the early stages when I was brainstorming and thinking this is amazing and needing support. I'd go to someone else for the encouragement up front. And then I'd go to him when I needed to pick it apart and really poke holes and stress test and give me feedback as to where it might not work. And it's okay to pick different people to serve different roles in your support network. You know, if you need different kinds of feedback, have different people in mind for that. I have certain people I go to for like middle of night, my business is failing, I'm an imposter and everything, right? There are people I can call. It's not everybody in my network. There are other people I call when I'm looking for inspiration and just to hear a different perspective on everything.
Yeah.
So I think some of those are, I think the key thing, it's got to be people you actually trust, respect, care about, and are willing to be truthful with. And and it's mutual. It has to be a mutual relationship.
Yeah.
Or there's a weird power structure that kind of kicks in that it's never comfortable. You can't fully trust if it's not.
And you want them to motivate and inspire you, right? There's attributes of these people that are in your circle. You know, I created a mastermind, a really close-knit mastermind, and there's 8 of us in that mastermind. And within that mastermind, some of us have different religious beliefs. And it's interesting because she doesn't understand God or believe in God. She was raised Jewish, but one of them is, really walks in faith with God. And she said, it's been so refreshing to really understand and be part of this. And so for her, it's not like she's against the belief. She sees it as a welcoming area that she's never had exposure to in her life. And she just loves it. She thinks it's great. So have an open mind with working with other people as well in this close-knit circle. Every successful person that you could ever read about had a close-knit circle of trusting people around them that gave them ideas, that gave them constructive feedback, that fueled them when they were down, that motivated and inspired them, and also gave them a reality check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think something you said a minute ago, and I'm trying to remember what it was that struck a chord for me. It's gone now. It'll come back.
It's okay. You'll remember it. You'll remember it. So Lori, I know that you tell us real quick a little bit about what you do, because you just touched on it, and then tell us, I know you have something to give away today to our community. So let's talk about that as well.
Yeah. So, well, I specialize in helping leaders and executives create, find, land their epic next executive job. So that includes identifying where they'll thrive, what the perfect fit next role is, as well as job search strategy and execution of how to land that once we know what it is. And then I also help those individuals and really values-driven leaders who most of my clients identify as servant leaders, to help them get seen and be valued and get promoted sometimes, or just hired into the role so they can have a greater impact. Oftentimes I find that people in a servant leadership role, they're so focused on making sure everybody else gets the credit for what they've done and lifting others up. In certain contexts, like some companies, they aren't seen as much for what they do. And so they're not able to have the same level of impact that they could on the organization, and really through that on the world at large. I feel, if we have better leaders, the world is a better place. So I work with those clients. I do that mostly through one-on-one coaching. I do have today, I have a leadership assessment that I've created that's a little bit different from most of the assessments that that includes then a follow-up consultation with me. So this is for anyone. If you want to just do a quick check on how your leadership skills are stacking up and where you might have opportunities for growth and what might be beneficial to you, I'll put the link for the assessment in the comment box. And then also with that, if you're interested, there's a consultation that will allow you to have, we'll identify 3 steps to help you up-level your leadership and have more impact.
I think that's great. Whether you're in corporate America, and I wish, you were around when I was in corporate America, because I was looking for people that could coach me, to help me, to really figure out, how do I do this career thing, right? And I had to figure it out on my own. I mean, I was successful in figuring it out on my own, but it took like 15 years to figure it out on my own versus what I could have done in a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend anyone, and we talk about freebies all the time. If someone's giving you something for free, look at where you're at, right? Checking in with yourself to see where you're at on your leadership skills is excellent, because that's the only way we can figure out the areas that we need growth. Once we figure that out, take the call with Lori, whether you own your own business or are an executive or want to become an executive, because she's been around the block. So she knows and coaches how to become that leader. So she'll be able to give you areas that can help you in your growth to be able to become that impactful leader that you want to be.
And that's my goal. And I think most of your people are in fact values driven, right? They have a purpose and a mission and a vision.
Yeah.
And I want to help anyone who wants to have that kind of impact on the world to get there faster and effectively and feel confident in that.
And you are one of my people, Lori. So you said my people. I'm like, you are one of our people. So they're our people.
Our people, yes.
You're here because you're purposefully driven. And I tend to only attract purposefully driven people. So, that's the other thing. When you create a circle, you attract people to you that are like-minded, that either want to be around your inspiration or, are fueled by the same things you're fueled by, want to make the same impact in the world. So if you don't have a solid circle, look to start a solid circle, just like we talked about today, and take Lori up on her offer. Click the link below, fill out the survey to see, are you being the leader that you could be, or are there room for improvement? And if everyone knows me, there's room for improvement, because we are always learning. And if learning is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. You should be learning constantly.
I agree.
Yeah. And for those of you that are coming to the 3-day event, I will see you the evening of August 10th if you're a VIP. And then for those of you that aren't, I will see you on Wednesday, August 11th, as we kick off 3 full days. Plan around 8 to 5 Pacific time of us just diving in and really getting serious about where we're going with our businesses. This is the time. It's going to be really exciting. So we'll see you there, Lori. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Don't forget to start building your circle of trust and people around you that will fuel you to the next level. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone. See ya. Have an awesome week, by the way.